Broadcasting from the Princeton Orthopedic Associates studios in the home of the Zach Gelb Show. This is Fox Sports 920 The Jersey. WNJE Trenton, Philadelphia.
Ready?
It's time to talk sports. National, local, professional, completely unprofessional, high school and college.
Let's take it even further off the hook.
It's the Zach Gelb Show.
We are rolling
On Fox Sports 920 The Jersey.
Welcome back in, Mall of America. This is Radio Row, Super Bowl 52. Patriots are back in the big game, of course, but the Philadelphia Eagles do return as well. It's the Zach Gelb Show live on Radio Row. And we welcome in a Pro Football Hall of Famer, former New England Patriot, and that's Andre Tippett. Andre, it's Zach Gelb here. Great to see you. How are you?
I'm doing well. Zach, nice to see you again, man.
Right?
I see we got a lot of family ties together, so it's amazing to be on the show. Thank you.
I remember seeing you when you got inducted into the Jewish Sports Hall of Fame in Suffolk County on Long Island in Comac. And the connection for the listeners is my uncle's father grew up with your wife's father, Chuck, and they used to call him Uncle Chuck, and they had a long relationship for many years.
Absolutely. So it's just, as my wife likes to call it, it'd be Jewish geography.
Yep.
So, I'm happy to be here with you today. This is a great week. It's always a great week when you're getting ready to play a Super Bowl.
So take me back to your roots. I know we were talking about it before you came on the air. As a young kid, you moved to New Jersey. We broadcast back to New Jersey, and you played high school ball in the Newark area. So reminisce a little bit about that experience growing up as a kid in the Jersey area.
Well, it was actually, I didn't realize it until later on that that whole Jersey, New York, PA, Ohio area is a hotbed for high school football, and been a lot of players over the years that have come out of those areas, and I happen to be in an area that I've had some pretty good football players. I was lucky to get to the right high school. I went to a school that had a history of winning, successful, and they had a great coach at the time that was a great supporter of young boys who wanted to do something for themselves. And I used to ask him all the time, can I play at the next level? Will you help me get to college? Will you point me in the right direction? And I was fortunate. Played 2 state championships in high school. My senior year, we played at the Meadowlands. It was probably one of the biggest state championships as far as people in attendance. It was 41,000.
Wow, for a high school game.
At the high school. And it was Barringer, my high school, versus Westfield. We ended up losing, but it's still the fact that we got to play there. We got to play against a great team, but it was a stepping stone. It got me an opportunity to eventually get to Iowa, and I had a great career at Iowa. But my roots are Jersey. Grew up in Newark. Tough place. Taught you how to be resilient, how to be fearful, fearless, and it was a great teaching opportunity for me just the whole time growing up.
And I'll tell you, my uncle would always tell me stories as a kid how growing up in Massachusetts, in Framingham, and they would always, them and Chuck would go to the games. They'd have 5 tickets, and they would sneak in about 15 people.
Of course.
And he's so appreciative now of what the Patriots have become. Because back when you got to that first Super Bowl for the franchise, that was a big deal. And now it's expected to get there every single year. So how about that transformation of the franchise?
Well, we tell people, hey, at some point this is going to end. And you never take anything for granted. And if you do, you're a sucker. So whenever the opportunity comes, don't save anything, leave it all out on the field. And that's the thing that we talk about a lot. We have been fortunate to have the great combination of ownership, head coach, quarterback, players that are all willing to sacrifice for the greater good, willing to put themselves for the best of the team. you look at what used to be old Schaefer Stadium to now we have a mega complex over there. Great stadium.
Keeps on growing with Patriot Place.
Keeps growing. Ownership is the reason why a lot of that's taking place. You got a person, Robert Kraft, who's come in, bought the team, willing to invest his money in the redevelopment of that particular area, the organization, the franchise, and it's been awesome. I mean, I've been in awe of watching him as an owner and the things that he touches. Everything that he touches has a tendency to turn to gold, and it's really cool because being there 36 years and seeing everything from the bottom to the top is a lot to be.
You look at when they first won in 2001, and you still have Kraft there, obviously. You still have Brady there, and you still have Belichick. But the amount of players that come in, even in the middle of the season, right, like a James Harrison, career was over, they cut him in Pittsburgh, and then he's contributing in an AFC championship game. You being around that culture and you knowing how that culture works, what is it? Have you been able to put your pulse on it, on how they could take a guy whose career looks like it's over, going back to Corey Dillon, Randy Moss, you have some great talent, and they get him in here, even Wes Welker, who was an unknown, Julian Edelman, and they just find a way to make it work.
Right. Well, we got great coaches that can coach, and that's key to a lot of successful programs is coaches who can coach. And so the ability to evaluate James Harris. He didn't play a lot, and obviously watching him, he's still very, very passionate about the game. He had a lot of gas still left in the tank. We grabbed him with what we considered going to be a 3-game season for him. He can handle that. But the ability for our scouts, our personnel department, our coaches to kind of look at that and say, do we want this young man? Of course we want this young man. This guy is a passionate football player. He was a passionate, great football player for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he's now become a great, passionate football player for the New England Patriots. So just the ability to evaluate guys in the middle of the season is key. But that's what we do. We've been watching coaches coach, players play. That's key.
Talking to the Pro Football Hall of Famer and Andre Tippett on Radio Row in the Mall of America. So we're on in the Philadelphia and Jersey market. I'm a Patriot fan, and I do cover the Eagles as well now. So it's been an interesting week because I've been rooting for the Eagles all throughout the year, but my roots lie with the Patriots. You know the way to beat Brady is you got to get pressure on him like all great quarterbacks. You got to make him feel uncomfortable and really get him under duress. How about this Eagles defensive line, because they are so deep and so good?
Right. Well, I think it's just like you do anything. It's individual competition. It's going to be a lot of one-on-one. Am I willing to line up in front of that guy that's going to be coming after me, and am I going to compete against him? It's mano on mano. It's like, what do you want to do? How are you going to contribute? And I don't think we have a problem with that. I think we got a great coach in Dante Scarnecchia that's going to obviously has gotten those guys prepared and obviously will continue to show those guys how to improve. So Philly's got a great D-line. They're going to do some awesome stuff, and they're going to have their moments, and as well as we're going to have our moments. So I think it's going to make for a great game. It'll be something for the history, I think, history books.
Now, when you do this job, you obviously have personal stories that you look at, and you have connections with people. Jerry Kramer's up for the Hall of Fame this weekend. That's someone that I've always been pulling for. You had to wait a while to get into the Hall of Fame, and I remember the day you got in, the phone call I got from my uncle and my family. They said, Andre finally got in.
Absolutely.
And they were celebrating. So that call, when you got it, what do you remember about it when you found out? Or did it come to your hotel room? How did it all go down?
I was there in the hotel. It came, I was with my family, and we were in the lobby of the hotel. And all of a sudden it went from 5 to like 200 people.
Wow.
Just standing around clapping and cheering, and it brought me to tears, and it still brings me to tears. And for these guys that are eligible this year and are going to be waiting on Saturday for the final announcement, it's going to bring them to tears too, because it should bring you to tears. It is one of the greatest sports Hall of Fames and in sports history. It's an organization, a fraternity that you can't get cut from, you can't quit, and you can't be traded. You're there for life. So once you're in, and the bust, the ring, and the gold jacket means more than anything in the world to me. It's something that I will continue to represent as well, because not only do you represent yourself now, you take on something much bigger than you, and you got to be cognizant of what's happening out there.
I know you got to run, and we appreciate your time. Before we let you run, you're in the Hall of Fame jacket. You got the K Jewelers logo as well. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing here today with K Jewelers.
Well, today, obviously, K Jewelers is the official ring supplier for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It's the official jewelry store for the Hall of Fame. And each year, each inductee gets what we call the Ring of Excellence. It's an unbelievable, unbelievable ring. Now, we've talked a lot about me, but as a football player now, you know I've laid a lot of quarterbacks down, and I've dropped them, but I've never dropped my opportunities on Valentine's Day to get the right present.
Well, your wife wouldn't be happy if that was the case.
So what we're doing is we're trying to create a winning theme by going to K Jewelers or K.com and help you pick out the perfect gift for that special someone. And it's been great. We've been pushing it and promoting it all week, and today has been awesome so far.
Well, great to see you. Thank you so much. That's Andre Tippett on Radio Row. We'll take a timeout. Be back right after this.
All right.